As the 1444-2022 Hajj commences with just over 1 million hujjaj, many elders who have been for Hajj in the past are recounting their memories. A Nostalgic Hajj takes us through the journey of two elderly people who share their experiences of performing their Hajj in the late 1950s and early 1960s.
My first Hajj I performed was in 1960, and we were in a group of 7. I was the only one who was not married. Anyway, we did the tour of Middle East. We went to Cairo, we went to Palestine, we went to Amman, we went to Damascus, we went to Jordan. We did all that everywhere. And then eventually we landed up in Medina. From there we flew into Mecca, and from Medina we flew into Jeddah, and from Jeddah we went to Medina by car. And that journey with the car was something else. It's like you leave early in the morning on the way because the car, you get stuck because the car is getting too hot. You have that problem. Then the taxi driver doesn't tell you anything because these are Arab-speaking guys, and they don't understand our language. We don't understand them. So they just stop the car and they just relax. And it's hot, and we're sitting in the car. After about 2 hours, he gets up again. He fills up water again. Now we're back again on the road.
My first Hajj was in 1959. I went with my mom, dad, and my grandmother, my mom's mother. And we were staying in an open place. There were no hotels then. They just had some houses where people around the haram, where people used to live there. And we had a place about not very far from the haram, and we used to stay there. It was just like an open place where we all used to sleep there. We didn't stay, the hotels were very expensive. So we had, a lady had a place for us. We used to live there. It was just like an open porch. My granny, my mom, dad, and I, we used to sleep in that open porch, and then there was a little bathroom and toilet in one.
With Hujjaj making a stop in Medina first, the architecture and surroundings seems to have remained consistent.
We spent about 10 days in Medina, which was fantastic. We did all the tours in Medina. We went to every ziyarat. We did a lot of ziyarat there. And we had a wonderful time. And the people were very nice in Medina, very helpful, very obliging. And whenever you came into the haram also, there was always praise for you. They take you right in front, and you could read namaz any way you want. It was so free that, there were not restrictions that you could do your salami, you could sit and read whatever you want, right? And we used to read all our salah on the first surf.
Medina, in the mornings, they had at Fajr time, they used to make rotis. So, and they used to make something like dole. Yeah. So Dad used to buy the dole for himself, and he used to give me the roti to eat.
Okay. And did you have to take your own musalla?
We used to read on their musallas.
So there were musallas then?
Yeah. Oh. There's a big musalla.
Same like
so like this, a big musalla.
Yeah.
To read on that. And then later on, we started taking musallas. Then the Syrian ladies used to pull the musallas, sit on it. They used to be big size. You can't move them. So they'll read on your musalla and you'll be on the side.
Having a leader for the group of Hujjaj has always been a part of the Hajj, but for Uncle Amin, there were other fond memories as well.
Really, I can't forget the time which I had in Medina. And from there we went back we put on ihram, and then we left from there, from Mecca, It was also the same journey. On the way, we stopped at Mastura, where we had this. They very specialized in fish near the sea, and it was really tasty. Just very simple. Just put it on the braai, put salt, and you have it. You know, don't wash it. It just comes like that. They just rinse it, cut it, put salt, and that's it. You finish. You have it. But this was really enjoyable. It was very, very tasty. And from there, eventually, we got to Mecca. And when we got to Mecca, we had Noor Muhammad Kogir as our Maulim. He was a brother of Abdul Aziz Kogir. And that he was the eldest brother. So he was our Maulim. And his staff were also very good. But those days, they were either you stayed with him, he had like one big hall, and they used to make partitions, and you ladies one side, men's side one side. But he had a place reserved for us actually we were living in the Haram, where the entrance of the door of Babul Umrah. When you come out from Babul Umrah, just as you come out, you just turn on your left-hand side. The door is there. We in our room. So if we come in a room, we got two rooms, a kitchen, plus a bathroom, but bathroom and toilet into one, and fans. It was hot, but the only thing we had was fans those days. What was very enjoyable that we came out into the Haram. The Haram used to be empty, virtually empty, and you could make tawaf as you like. You could sit there in front of the Kaaba, sit, read, whatever you want to do. The ibadat you could make, every round you could do everything, kiss the Hazrat Aswad you want. You could do as much as tawaf you wanted, you could do. Nobody to trouble you. And especially we used to go after Isha, after 2 hours after Isha, and it was really nice. We really enjoyed it. But from then the last 10 days of the Haram, of the Hajj, then it was getting full, because it was the old Haram. If you look at the old Haram, there was nothing new. Even the Safa Marwa, I think they just started building the Safa Marwa. It was, just open. It was like concrete on the floor, and you had to virtually walk onto the concrete. But of course, we had to wear our sandals, and we did whatever we had to do, all our ritual, what we had to do, we finished though. We stayed like virtually in the Haram. Like if I was sleeping next to a window where I could put my face down like this and look at the Kaaba, I could see the Kaaba from my room, from my window. Because the window was right at the bottom. You get that olden type of windows going right to the bottom. And then you could just sit there and you can see. But then the last 10 days, there were some South Africans who came also for Hajj and everything. And the Haram was full, so we used to make namaz in our room. We used to, all the South Africans used to come. And all the friends who were there at that time, whoever was there. And we used to all make there.
Leaving for Mina is a major part of Hajj, as Uncle Amin explains.
And on the Hajj day, when we had to leave for Mina, we left for Mina early in the morning. We got there on time. We spent 3 days in Mina. Then we went to Arafat. Arafat was fantastic. It seemed like there were too many people, because the roads were small. There was only one road going in, one road coming out those days. It seemed like there was a lot of people, but there were not so many people, What we did was we all sat down. We had a tent, but it's very hot. You couldn't even go outside. And there was only fans there for us. And there's also battery-operated fans, they used to get. So we were with that. And of course, as the day went past on Hajj day, then the final dua was made. And then we came back to Muzdalifah. We spent the night there, picked up stones. It was really funny picking up stones, because you don't know, it's dark. And if you have a torch, it's very small. It wasn't the big torches what we had. Small torches, and you don't know what you're picking up. So you had to pick up extra and then wash it again. the stones. So pebbles, what we used to do then. And then, of course, the Qurbani, then after that we got back to Mina and then we had to go and do the Qurbani. I tell you, that was something else. I've experienced, I tell you something, that when we had to walk all the way from our place which we were doing in Mina, it was like one side ladies, one side men, and we were all together. Must have been all Nur Muhammad Kogi's whole troop, We were about 120 of us, but we had one huge place there and we all had to share. And it was really, really, we met a lot of people too from India, from Pakistan, which were there, made friends with them, good people, nice people. And they were all, most of them were all people. And in the time of Qurbani, we, 3 of us decided that we'll go and do the Qurbani for 15 of us, because we were in a group of 15, so we said we'd go and do the Qurbani. So we started walking. It was a long walk. It was like you go into a compound. It's got different doors, and you walk into the compound, and all the sheep and the camels and whatever you think, everything was there. But it was so cramped up that you were walking on carcass, you were walking on blood. You didn't know what was happening, But you had to just close your eyes and just walk, and then you had to pick your own sheep, goat, whatever you wanted. A camel, we had to slaughter one camel, and then we did all our Qurbanis, what we did. It was an experience you couldn't believe. It was something that, you can't imagine.
Both Auntie Rashida and Uncle Amin reflect on the process of pelting the shayateen.
And from there we came back to Mina. Of course, we had to pelt the stones and the shaitan, but very narrow. And it was the old, small little ring. I don't know if you see the old pictures, you may find it. The old field were the 3 shaitans standing there, and we had to pelt them. And that was also something, because you don't know from where you're going to go in front, because if somebody is pelting you on your head, somebody is doing, and everybody is rushing together, and everybody wants to say. People are swearing, and people are giving curses to shaitan.
We used to go Fijr time and pelt one shaitan. Then we used to go after Asr and pelt the other 2.
And was it busy? Was it busy?
Very busy. We had someone who would hold us, stand in front of him and then pelt.
After this, we came back to Makkah again. And of course, just before that, we had to take our ihram off, we had to shave our head off. We had to get back to, come back to Mina again. And we went back again after 2-3 days after we went back again. And we stayed another 2-3 days, and when we came back, and then we had to fly back home.
We make dua that all the efforts of the hujjaj are accepted.